Welcome to another edition of Ask Isaiah live stream. On this particular episode, I will be analyzing and reacting to the Oklahoma City Thunder versus the Washington Wizards. The Wizards come in losers of four in a row, while the Thunder have won three in a row. So both teams are in a sense of desperation for the Thunder. They started the season on four, so they're trying to get back on track. While for the Wizards, as much talent as they have, they aren't cohesive at all. They have the return of Dwight Howard coming back from a glute injury that he's been dealing with. So for him, he's gonna be a bit rusty, but I think he'll provide somewhat of a spark on the interior that they haven't had. So as we start this game, the Wizards are 1-6. As I mentioned, the Thunder are 3-4. Right now, the Wizards are at home. The Thunder are on a 2 game road trip at this point, so they're trying to get some traction on the road. Uh, their first road win came last night against the Charlotte Hornets after coming back from 19 down. Russell Westbrook shot 50% from the floor, 29 points, 10 assists, 8 rebounds. It was his first 10 assist game of the season. A lot of that came with great contributions from Alex Abrinas, who career high last night was 25 points. Paul George shot horrible from the floor, 4 of 20. He was 0 of 10 from three, but he always contributes on the defensive end. He had 4 steals and 3 blocks. And excuse me, and I think when you consider what Abrinas did for the Thunder in the second half, really opening up the outside on the perimeter, giving them 5 out of 10 threes. It really allowed Westbrook the space necessary to compete with the likes of Charlotte on the interior once he broke them down. So it was a good one last night, and now let's see what the Thunder are able to do against a team in desperation with the Wizards. The Thunder win the first tip off, and Westbrook is able to get the Thunder in the flow. Paul George off a screen, unable to knock down that first jumper. The starting lineup for the Thunder right now is Westbrook, Paul George, Steven Adams, Jeremy Grant, and Terrence Ferguson. While the Wizards have John Wall, Bradley Beal, Otto Porter, Markieff Morris, Dwight Howard, and I mentioned Otto Porter. And already Dwight with his first score of the season on the interior, great pass from Morris on the inside. We're looking at we're looking at Morris able to driving dish off inside. He was able to draw a lot of attention to Steven Adams. Steven Adams able to was unable to get back to Dwight because he was on the weak side help. When you look at what the Wizards are, they're kind of stuck. They're like the Eastern Conference version of Portland, but I think they're worse in the sense where at least Portland, they understand what they are and their best two players play well together. I think for what Washington is, Bradley Bill and John Wall have never played well at the same time. It's just unfortunate because both are extremely talented, but whether it be an injury that throws them off or just one being cold, they've never been cohesive at the same time. With that said, John Wall comes off with a three, so Washington has a 6-3 lead, and John Wall on the attack. Westbrook trying to get in the lane misses the layup, but just seeing John Wall able to knock down the three, we want to see can they play well at the same time. That was weird. I think the White thought he was getting fouled, and I think the Thunder assumed they were going to get a jump ball. The ref didn't call anything, so it's 10 seconds on the clock. Right now, they're speaking about Dwight Howard in his career, 17 points per, 58% from the floor. But the weird odyssey that his career has taken since leaving the Magic, a lot of that had to do with the disintegration of his relationship with Stan Van Gundy. And when you look at what he became with Stan, it was the ultimate. He was the highest level of Clint Capella, uh, DeAndre Jordan type, Andre Drummond type of player, an exceptional rim runner who could play defense, give rebounds, and dunk everything. But I think because at the time he was the best big man, A lot of that ego got to his head in terms of he wanted more back to the basket touches. He wanted to be more of a focal point of the offense. When unfortunately his game wasn't predicated on offensive skill. So, Stan Van Gundy understanding that put the proper players around him that would be shooters and that could play off him. And you saw the Magic go to the finals against the Lakers in 2009 and upset the Cleveland Cavaliers in the Eastern Conference Finals. But it's just, I think the White's ego and a lot of the attention that he was getting at the time really got in his head, and it caused the disintegration of a great partnership at that time. Right now, the Wizards are just breaking out the 3-point shots. I mentioned John Wall's three. Bradley Bill's got a three. I mentioned the slam by Dwight Howard, which was actually a 3-point play. That the Wizards are able to have been able to catch the Thunder on a lot of defensive breakdowns, and right now they lead 13-5. John Wall on the baseline, great jumper. I mean, for Wall, he's an exceptional talent, and his speed alone is the ultimate weapon for the Wizards. But I think his outside shot, he just made a baseline jumper on the right side. He hasn't been able to consistently utilize that to enhance his offensive game. Although Porter knocks down the jumper, so right now the Wizards are just moving fluid. I mean, they're playing with more desperation. After losing four in a row, you gotta have that level of desperation. And the Thunder turn over the basketball. They get it back though. Ferg to Steven Adams. Terrence Ferguson with a great find for Steven Adams. 17-19 Wizards lead. We got somebody checking in on the live. Cordero Rogers. He's checking into this game as well. Wizards Thunder. What's up, Cord? Westbrook on the rebound, pushing the break. I mean, the ultimate triple double option. Right now, Jeremy Grant for three, and he knocks it down. So two players for the Thunder who have struggled from three just are knocking it down right now. And the score is 17-12. 17-12 Wizards lead. And we have an offensive foul on the inside. Push up against the Dwight Howard. And we have a timeout from Washington. So right now, 17 with 7:57 remaining in the first quarter, Washington leads 17-12. 17-12, but OKC will be coming back out of the timeout with possession. Let's look at the initial box score. I know I was giving you the scores as they came, but just looking at the first break numbers for both teams, the Wizards have knocked down 3 3-pointers already, and a lot of that has just come off open, fast-paced shots. There hasn't really been anything in the half court just yet, and with the Thunder struggling to manage possessions well, that's the reason Washington is up. Look at the 3-pointers so far. Right now they're 2 of 3 from three. I said 3 3-pointers. They hit two. 3 of 3. And you have 4 points from Porter. Dwight has 5 already. John Wall has 5, and Bradley Beal has 3. For OKC, Jeremy Grant has 5, Steven Adams has 4, and Ferguson has 3. So I feel like just the desperation Washington has come out with, the energy they have is really based on just losing and being in a bit of turmoil. Team like this is always do so. This is a potentially trapped game for OKC. And the thing about OKC that they've won 3 in a row, but they're starting their games really sluggish. They're letting teams jump out on them so early, and I think when you do that, you have to expend so much energy to just get back into the game that you run the risk of not having it when you have to close out a game in the fourth. And I think we saw that when they played the Clippers the first time. As much as they were down in the first quarter, the Clippers jumping out to a 16-0 lead. That only that only lended itself to OKC having to overcome that. They ended up taking the lead through the second and third quarter, but they burnt out in the fourth quarter. Just horrible efficiency off offensively, and the adjustments that Doc Rivers made, especially with Boban coming in and really challenging Steven Adams, Clippers were able to run away. When you look at the games recently, whether it be the Clippers, the or the or Charlotte, both teams got out by huge margins, and OKC had to overcome that. Whether it be 19 against Charlotte and or 20 or what was it 15 against the Clippers. So Thunder have to do better in terms of setting the tone and getting off to better starts. But I think a lot of that too has to do with Westbrook. Westbrook, knowing the way he plays, he's very consistent, just brings max effort. A lot of times, especially as the season has started, he hasn't forced it early. It's more so he gets everybody involved, and then when it's time to push that button, he does it in a way to where they haven't been able to really stop him in the last couple of games. But shooting wise, both teams are shooting 43%. Thunder are 5 of 9. Wizards are set. On the season, they're shooting 43%, I should say. Right now, the Thunder are shooting 5 of 9, and the Wizards shooting seven of 9. Jeremy Grant, two threes already in the first quarter, so that's a great sign for OKC. Right now, I mean, their big deficiency is shooting. They're they're able to play defense really well. They're defending the three at a high rate so far this season. Dwight Howard just took a jumper and banked it in off the glass, looking like Tim Duncan. Wow. 19 to 15 Washington leads, man. That's crazy. And a turnover from Westbrook. Pass sailed a little too high for Jeremy. And Dwight Howard in his first game back. See, this is what I'm talking about with the energy he brings. First game back, he's 3 of 3, has 7 points. All of that is just adrenaline right now. So, and now he catches the alley off the back door. Caught Steven Adams sleeping, man. So he has 9 quick points. Wizards are up 21 to 15. Ferguson knocks down the three. So the role players for OKC are actually keeping them in the game. In terms of starters, Russell Westbrook and Paul George are the only starters that haven't scored. Right now, Jeremy Grant is guarding Dwight Howard, and he catches Otto Porter on the back door for an easy lane. Oh, up and under from Steven Adams. So right now, this is a big man's game. Both bigs are making their presence known inside. Great steal from Westbrook now on the fast break, looking for a trailer. Instead, he bulldozes inside with the left hand. So Westbrook is on the board. 23-22 Washington leads. Back and forth we go. It's a 23-22 game with 5:52 remaining in the first quarter. Bradley Beal on his baseline for three, and he knocks it down, looks right at Westbrook. Looking for some entry pass. Jeremy Grant in the post, looking to slam it, and he does. I think Bradley Beal flopped right there, but it is what it is. So it's 26-24. Washington just being exceptionally efficient offensively. Right now, all their field goals, 11 field goals made, they have 11 assists. Bradley Beal comes off a curl, thought about shooting it. 10 seconds on the shot clock. John Wall facing a slight double team, kicks out to Morris, but it gets stolen by Grant. And Westbrook, and he misses a layup. Oh my gosh. The crowd can't believe it. He should have tried to dunk it. And that's the thing sometimes. You can't waste those opportunities because you miss two, you tend to give up two. And as I say that, you miss a layup, and what do? You give up a floater to Dwight Howard in the post. That's a 4-point swing there. You could have been tied at 24. Instead, you're down 4, 28-24. And now OKC is turning over the basketball. They've always been a highly turnover prone team because of their best player Westbrook. But right now, especially with how some of the plays Paul George has been making, has been real lackadaisical at times. Back in play, which is with the basketball, 28-24 lead. John Wall for three. Back rims it. Westbrook with the in and out mid range. That stop and pop game is always there for him. The thing about Westbrook is that I mean, it's twofold in some respects. He could be cold, and then in any moment he can strike hot because just of just his mentality and attack. But at the same time, there's shots that he make throughout a game that are the same shots he make all season, but he will go cold at any moment. So you run the risk of just the drought. I think for OKC, especially with the pace that the game is that the league has opened up, especially with the point of emphasis on movement off the ball. It's allowing for more scoring, but those droughts are still there. Great steal from Paul George. Fast break opportunity for the Thunder inside. Potential steal from Bradley Beal, and he takes it right back. And the White Howard is just in the zone right now. 30 points already for the Wizards. The White with 11 points, and he's been the best player on the floor right now. Excuse me, 13 points, 6 and 6 from the field. Westbrook right back. That's what he does. He stops the bleeding whenever it's there. He stops the bleeding, kills momentum. But I think just the pace is favoring Washington right now. Porter misses a three. Dwight finally misses his first shot, and it's a freaking layup. Paul George thought about a three. 13 on the shot clock, top of the key, guarded by John Wall. In and out with the left hand, with the right hand. Steven Adams lays it in. So game is tied at 30. Back and forth we go. One thing I haven't mentioned with Paul George, he mentioned last night real offhandedly, like nonchalantly, he's been dealing with a nerve issue in his left foot. He referred to it as a dead foot, and he said that played a role in him shooting 0 for 10 from three, shooting 4 for 20. But the Thunder and Paul George don't seem too concerned about the particular issue, and I think if they're not concerned, I'm not concerned. But if you go back to last year, after the All Star break, Paul George was dealing with an elbow issue. He had a sack in his elbow that affected his shooting really bad. And I think over his tenure with the Thunder, there's been little things that have thrown off his shooting in ways that, if not addressed early, it'll affect him later. So hopefully they can compact that really quickly and get it out the way. Hmm. Let's look at it. So this, right now, the Thunder are shooting 68%. The Wizards are shooting 72%. So just a high-paced game. Dwight Howard really balling at a high level. Jeremy Grant 10 points for the Thunder. Steven Adams 8 points. Abrinas hasn't gotten in the game yet. I mentioned him as being the X factor for the turnaround last night. So if he's able to get in the game, we'll see what he's able to do. For the Wizards, who else is balling for them? John Wall 5, Bradley Beal 6, Porter 6. Morris hasn't scored yet, but that shouldn't last for too long. I mean, just the scoring that we've seen right now, unbelievable. Hmm. I think this NBA Jam commercial with the Warriors is exceptional for ESPN. The question is who's scarier, the video game Warriors or the real life Warriors? And I say the real life Warriors because they play like a video game for real. In real life, you expect a player or a team to go through a drought, and it seems like because of how efficient the Warriors are in terms of offensively and them having the most talent in the league at the most important positions, they never cease to they they never cease to get buckets. They always are able to, no matter how much you're up, as long as there's time on the floor on the clock, they're gonna come back. And if they're up, they make it very difficult for you to come back because they're so skilled defensively. Great steal for Dennis Schroeder. He's back. He's in the game for the Thunder. Last night he scored 21 points against Charlotte. Hit 2 of 6 from three, which was really important. And Alex Abrinas comes into the game for the Thunder, along with Patrick Patterson. Steven Adams just missed a dunk. Kelly Oubre's in the game now for the Wizards. Oubre's a supremely skilled player. I just think him being so young and around in that locker room, he hasn't truly been able to reach his true potential, in my opinion. John Wall with a pull-up jumper, back rims it to Jan Mahimi with the rebound, and he catches Oubre on a cut, potentially for an easy layup. They call a foul. Hmm. Now Jeff Green is in the game for the Wizards. I thought that was a solid pickup on paper, and he's from the DC area, so that's a good homecoming for him. But I think the team being so bad right now, it's not what he actually wanted. Schroeder looking for Nerlens Noel. Paul George on a kick out. Schroeder for three. He knocks it down. The Thunder right now are knocking down the three. The complete opposite of how they actually play from three usually. And we get a steal. Paul George to Schroeder. Kick out to Abrinas. Career high 25 points last night. Misses his first shot. We approach a minute remaining in the first quarter. Great crossover from Austin Rivers, who comes into the game. And Oubre for three. No good. But I'm glad for Austin Rivers. He's been able to, salvage his career after initially being a lottery pick by the New Orleans Pelicans. He didn't pan out the way they wanted, but whether it be nepotism or just a father loving his son, he was able to. Doc Rivers was able to get his son over to the Clippers and teach him the NBA game in a way to where now he can play at a high level. And it's good to see him able to stand on his own with the Wizards. So 26 seconds remaining first quarter. The thing about Austin, he's a great player, but his ego is like out of this world the way he plays sometimes, or the way he expresses himself sometimes verbally. But I mean, he was one of the most highly touted players out of high school during his time. And the Wizards have a 24-second violation, great defense from the Thunder. I think a little bit too much dribbling from Austin. Wizards with a foul to give. They foul. 6.4 left. OKC still has the basketball. Noel. Pull up jumper. Does he make it? He does. That was about 20 feet out. Noel able to knock that down. So 5-point game for the Thunder, man. 35-30, continuing this high pace scoring. This is exactly what the league wants. 19 teams so far this year are averaging 110 plus points per game. Last year, only 16 averaged over 110 points per game. So right now, the league is just loving this scoring. I think it's put a damper in the defense, but I think the league will adjust as to how the game is being called. I just think they have to get used to, or have to feel a sense of consistency in terms of how referees are calling it on both sides. Once you see that it's a uh, consistent fouls being called for both teams, then teams get over it. You know. But I mean, this for me, this is reminiscent of the '80s. But in terms of the individual scoring, you can go back to the 2006 season where they initially took the hand checking out of basketball. You had 10 players, almost 11 players, averaging 25 or more in scoring. Right now, we have at this point you got 4 players averaging 30, with me just outside the 30 clip. I can tell you right now. Tell you right now. So at this point, so you have one 30-point scorer, but you have 3 players averaging 29. You have Steph Curry averaging 33. Kimber was averaging 30, but he dropped down, so he's at 29.1. Damian Lillard's at 29.1. Joel Embiid's at 28.6. And they still have Harden qualified right now, 28.5. Zach LaVine at 28. DeMar DeRozan at 27.9. LeBron James 27.8. Kevin Durant 27.8. So these are prolific scorers, but with everything coming together in terms of how the league is handling the high scoring. Wow. Second quarter just started. Based on the stats so far, Wizards have 12 assists while the Thunder have 11. So they're moving the basketball. Yamahimi with a floater, no good. Nothing's no well with that rebound. Now Hamidou Diallo's in the game with the Thunder now. Schroeder looking for Noel inside. Blocked by Yamahimi. They call a foul. It looked like it was all ball there. I'm tell you that much. Nerlens Noel coming from where he came from, drafted to the Sixers, coming off an injury from Kentucky. He had to sit out a year, but he was entrenched in the Sixers when they were tanking at the highest level, and he never truly developed over there because of the direction they were going in. They didn't properly build the team. They were just putting pieces out there to lose as much as possible. So then he goes from Philly to Dallas, and in Dallas they were losing. He played much more, and he played under a good coach, but because of what they were going through in terms of their transition after a championship, he never truly developed there. So I think this is the first time he can potentially be in a winning situation. So let's see how he handles that. So far, he hasn't adjusted well defensively, but as I say that, he gives a great contest on a block attempt there, just unable to get it. But just the and Patrick Patterson unable to knock in a three. But just being around the Thunder right now can be productive for him in his career. He could salvage it in a way where he could become a different player. And Patrick Patterson comes back and knocks down the three, so the OKC goes up 8, 40-32. Austin Rivers facing a light double team, gets it to Oubre, and they call a travel. I mean, the season is starting right now, so the refs are more heightened in terms of their calls. But if Uber makes that move in around January, February, they'll probably let it go. Good pass. Pat got to be ready though. Good block from Ubre. Shot clock running down 6. Hamadou Diallo can't finish the layup. Patrick Patterson can't finish the layup, and he's fouled on the offensive rebound, but he was bailed out there. Great defense on the interior by Washington. Yamahimi can't believe it. But I mean, some of the opportunities OKC just had there, too easy. Patterson on the season, during his career, 9 seasons in averaging 7 points per game. They give him the designation of a shooter. I'm more comfortable with him shooting in the corner. He can't shoot in all areas, and I think that's more so about the fluidity of his game, how he uses his body. He plays really stiff. He's an exceptional defender, though, which is counterintuitive for what I just said. But he's very good on help side defense, and he's a great communicator and good at making deflections. But offensively, he just can't do much. You know, Austin Rivers misses a three. The Thunder are just opening up defensively right now, just getting everything they want on the perimeter, forcing forcing Washington into horrible shots. 10-point game for OKC. They're looking for Patterson in the post. Abrinas looking to drive off the dribble. 4 on the shot clock. Abrinas pulls up for 3 in the corner, knocks it down. Wow. So they counted as a 2. They'll probably go to the replay. But 44-32 right now. Timeout by Washington. 9:24 remaining. And when you come off a career high 20, 25 points, man, you're still hot. I mean, there's but so much you could do right now if you're watching on that contest. I mean, the closeout was good. He was falling back, fade away. Washington just has to get their top scorers in. When you bring in Bradley Beal, you put John Wall in. Unfortunately, when they come back in, obviously Paul George and Westbrook will come in, but you'll have a better opportunity to score with those players. Mm. I just got a notification that Steven Adams had to go back to the locker room for some for a particular reason. He's back on the team's bench working a stationary bike. Whenever you're the Thunder, you're always concerned about Steven because of how he uses his body. He's always in contact, so he's a lot more bruised up than he'll ever let on. And there's a lot of times where he hits the floor, he's crashing into somebody's body. You know what I mean? So that's always going to be an issue for him. But I think for this team to be at their optimal level, he has to be consistent in terms of his play and what they are, because he's the ultimate Russell Westbrook team. He crashes the balls offensively. He sets killer picks. And I just think in terms of what he brings to the table, he's a selfless player who doesn't need the ball. And we have a player like Westbrook and now Paul George who dominate the ball and set up a lot of plays. He has to be there to not necessarily demand the ball and take away from their attention. He has to just kind of fill in, and he's the perfect player for that. Since the 242 point of the first quarter, the Thunder are outscoring the Wizards 14-2. 14-2. A lot of those shots are of the 3-point variety. As I mentioned, one of the worst 3-point shooting teams in the league. As I speak, they're showing a graphic that says the Thunder are 27% from three. Right now on this game, they are 6 of 9. So that's something that you can't really prepare for defensively. You play to the scouting report, and the Thunder are doing exactly what they normally do. They just tonight they're making it. And as I said, that Kelly Oubre comes back and gets an N1 opportunity. Strong finish with contact from Abrinas and Nerlens Noel. 10-point game, OKC up. He completes the 3-point play, so we got a 9-point game, 9:15 remaining. The attempt on the pocket pass there is a good idea, but I just think it was the wrong player making the pass. But we got a kick ball from Washington. Crossover potentially from Schroeder, no good. Trying to go to Patterson in the post, instead goes to Diallo in the corner. Gets it to Abrinas with 2 on the clock, blocked by Oubre. John Wall is back, and we have a offensive foul. He tried to split two defenders there, ran over Dennis Schroeder. Completely out of control there. I mean, that's something he normally does. I just think Schroeder was actually there. Usually players get out of his way on that particular move. Right now, Washington with 10 turnovers, OKC only with 4. And most of those turnovers came early in the first quarter. Schroeder, potential pass to Patterson goes right through his hands. Austin Rivers with a potential move kicks out to Jeff Green, and he misses a wide open three. So sometimes the shots just don't fall. Washington unable to knock it down. Patterson comes back for 3. Back rims it, rebounded Hamidou Diallo when he lays it in. That's one thing that he does that jumps off the screen when you watch him play. He's just so springy and bouncy. He's an exceptional offensive rebounder in the limited minutes that he does play. And on the season, I mean, over the last couple of years, This Oklahoma City team has been one of the best offensive rebounding teams because of Steven Adams. So if you can get that also from the guard position, that just adds to your weapons. Nerlens Noel was going for an alley oop and they called a foul. And the thing about it was, I don't even think he was truly aware of the ball until it was like right over his head. He wasn't looking for the alley oop there. Nerlens Noel misses that free throw. This Oklahoma City team has struggled from the free throw line throughout the season, and a lot of that has to do with just the uh, the struggle at the free throw line for Westbrook on the season, shooting 62%. So when you have your best player struggling and he takes the bulk of free throws, it's going to affect the team. But everyone else also struggling. Jeremy Grant, Steven Adams. So knows no what at the line misses the first, and he makes the second. He makes the second. Bradley Bill back into the game. So now we should see the scores level off when you have Washington's two best players on the floor. Bill, jab step, pull up, jump over, shooter is good. And as I said, like I said, the score should start to even out now. Bradley's an exceptional shooter and scorer. So let's see how it turns out. Westbrook is back on the floor for OKC, so now we're really going to see what the game is. Diallo athletically just banks that in on. I mean, when he went in the air, it looked like he wanted to pass initially. Then he's able to, use his prowess athletically to just get a shot up, and it banked in. Dwight Howard back in the game takes contact from the well. Foul is on the floor, but as I mentioned, Dwight Howard 6 or 7 in that first quarter, 13 points. So just seeing him get back into the game and scoring at this level can help this particular team. So let's see how he's able to he's able to get in a great pass on the back door. That's one thing you do. One thing you do when you want to abuse a bad defender, move off the ball. If on the ball, most players have pride. They're not really gonna give up much. But if you want to abuse a bad defender, move off that basketball. Catch him back door on the baseline. You'll lose him every time. And Westbrook with another layup, just horrible defense. They part of like the Red Sea there. Westbrook right now, 8.6 assists, 4 of 7. John Wall trying to do the same things in terms of explosiveness. And is it a turnover? They call it a turnover. The thing about Russ, man, is like when he's under control, I doubt that there's many point guards better than him. I just think in terms of his tenacity and how hard he plays, there's times where he might push it too hard. But I think, and I gotta read this quote to you guys because it perfectly summed up what the Thunder are and what they believe Westbrook to be in terms of his leadership. Paul George made a statement. He said, "He's our engine. He's the leader. He gets us going. You see him getting after it on his job, and it's our job to back him up." And Westbrook with another layup there. And then Royce Young followed that up by saying, as much as Westbrook is the emotional leader, Paul George is there to refine the efficiency flaws that Westbrook has. And I think in terms of, at their best, they can do that together. It's very similar to Westbrook and Durant. But the thing is that Paul George has to be a consistent barometer for that efficiency. Westbrook trying to get it to Steven Adams. He gets fouled there, no call. He's still able to finish. He did get fouled. They didn't call it. But it's a 16-point game right now, 55-39. And right now, Steven Adams is limping. He's dealing with some calf issues. Takes contact, no foul. Look at these stats right now. Matter of fact, let me give you a rundown of the scores going on at this moment. You got the Clippers up by 25 against the Magic on the road, 106 to 81. You got the Rockets losing to Brooklyn. Brooklyn's at home, 66 to 63. Harden is not playing tonight, so that affects them some way. You got not just some way, in a major way. You don't have your best offensive player. You got Indiana, Chicago. Chicago's up 353 to 50. The Knicks are up 9 against Dallas, 29 to 20. And then you have the Mavericks Jazz game is just about to start. Later on tonight, the 10 o'clock game, you got Toronto, Phoenix, and then at 10:30, Minnesota, Golden State. So you got some good games tonight. After this particular game, I'll I'll probably stream that Minnesota Golden State game, especially coming off that Derrick Rose performance, that 50-point game on Halloween night, truly a career high, and you don't usually see that in year 11. You know what I'm saying? I think Derrick, in terms of revamping his game and what he wanted to be, obviously the youngest MVP, the superstar in Chicago. You have an idea of what you are. You play a certain way your whole life, and then injuries take a toll on you in a way it changes the ideals and the trajectory of what your career is. But when you're a great player, it's always there. It just might manifest in a different way. So with that mentality that he has, with the ability that he has, he can turn himself into an elite six man for this team. It's a lot going on in Minnesota right now, especially with Jimmy Butler and Karl Anthony Towns. They just need a form of consistency. And if 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 Derek can provide that in the smallest of terms, in the smallest of ways, I mean that can go a long way right now. So I'll pay attention to that Golden State Minnesota game. Westbrook tonight, 10.7 assists, 5 of 8 from the floor, playing an efficient game, doing whatever he wants. Still by Westbrook, playing the passing lane, and he slams two-handed, jumping off one leg. Right now, the Wizards are just this story, and I think everybody's talking about Luke Walton on the hot seat. You got to look at Scott Brooks as well, man. I mean, he's been brought here to try to bring the best out of two young players who've played together, similar to what he did with Russell Westbrook and Kevin Durant. And while those two players are not as good as Russell Westbrook and Kevin Durant, they have talent. They're as I mentioned, they have exceptional talent. So as a coach, you have to be able to try to maximize that group. You got to maximize it, and I just think right now they're struggling. They're stuck in that low playoff seed, probably 7 or 8 seed at best. Excuse me. Dwight Howard goes 1 for 2 from the line, 57-40. OKC leads. Does that count as an M1? The foul was in the air, but in and out. That first free throw for Steven Adams. 1 for 2 for Steven on that free throw, so it evens out between Dwight and Steven Adams. Got an off the ball foul there for Washington. Right now, their feet are in quicksand. They're not moving quickly, not moving sharp. Got 4:41 remaining, and at the pace that was they were scoring in the first half, it was in the first quarter. Excuse me, it was 35-30 in the first quarter. Right now, the game is 58-40. This particular matchup coming into this game, you got Westbrook versus John Wall. Should be a premier matchup, but I just think in terms of how Wall has been playing, just not matching up right now. You got another steal, turnover for the Wizards. Westbrook tried to dunk it and foul by Kelly Oubre just to stop a potential slam there. I mean, it's the activity OKC is showing right now, especially off the ball. The potential that they could have had or that they're showing in terms of the length they have, the versatility that they have, is just. I mean, they're really exploiting Washington right now. Give me a second. I'm getting a call, obviously, on my NBA. Hello? Yeah, I hear Big E in the back, man. The legend. The legend, man. The legend, man. What's up, man? What's up? Probably have two Pacs. It's like a triple entendre. Because he says Tupac, obviously Tupac. She probably have two Tupacs. No, but he's playing on the fact that both of them were in the news for, you know what I'm saying? You know what I'm saying? Like it's a witty way to take the poison out of it. If they have twins, she probably have two Pacs. You dig what I'm saying? I mean, that's just that. Right, 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 right. You know, I mean, barely though, very barely. I mean, but on I Love the Dough, who had the better? I think Jay got him. I think Jay got him on that song, but on I Love the Dough, it's not even close. You see, there you go again. You know, oh my God, what a pass! Good finish, Steven Adams. Good finish. See, why are you lying? They did the song together. They paced with each other in the studio while they were recording it. They were together, bro. No, they was together recording that song also. No, that's not true. But that's not true. That's not true. They were together. Easy Mo B actually produced the track, and they were gonna record it that night, but they actually went out. They were like in the studio, like pacing, getting the verse together. And Big and Jay went to the club, and they was out too late for Mo B, and that was the last time Mo B actually saw Biggie. They recorded it together. Oh, Westbrook, finish that. Give me the and one, ref. Give me the and one. I mean, the Wizards are horrible, bro. 65-45. OKC is winning. It's just bad right now. But yeah, um, that was the last time Easy Mo B actually saw Biggie before he died. Yeah, so they recorded that together. They recorded both of them together. On a Readable Doubt joint, that beat was actually the Brooklyn's finest beat. Clark Kent had that beat specifically for Jay, but when he was on tour with Junior Mafia, he played the beat by accident He played the beat by accident. Big heard it and thought it was for him. He said, "Nah, this is for my man." J- and Clark Kent had always told Big about Jay, like, "Yo, you nice, but my man is nice too. My man is nice too." He's like, "You keep talking about something, like, so I gotta meet him." So they met, and he tell him like, "Yo, my son." He was talking like that. He was literally talking like that. He's like, "Yo, you nice, but my son is ill too." Like, so they met up, they vibed, they instantly vibed. You know what I mean? Because when they was at Westinghouse together, they didn't really, they was around each other, but they didn't really cross paths like that. Yeah, so they see each other from afar, but hustlers, they was hustling and moving and shaking. They didn't really like vibe the same way, you know what I mean? Until they, yeah, yeah. Which one? I mean, that's still kind of best style, but it borders. It's not exactly best style. You know what I'm saying? Look at that horrible shot, John. Well, you got to do better, bro. You got to come on, son. This is supposed to be a premier point guard matchup. Look at the foul. Can I get a foul, ref? I mean, John Wall's just not living up to the matchup right now. He's just not doing it. He's What I'm saying is as good as much potential as John Wall has. Don't you agree that point guards have passed him by? I mean, John Wall peaked. John Wall's peak is. I mean, John Wall got the longevity, but Derrick Rose's peak is higher than John Wall's. Oh, no, no, no. John Wall is better. He's better. Good pass. Finish that boy and one. Look at this Dom. That's good money. I'm not gonna violate John Wall like that. He's an all-star caliber player. But he should be the best player on his team consistently, and I feel like Bradley is kind of taking that away from him. But he's the super max player. But that shouldn't be the case. When you're the super max player, you gotta be the best. You gotta be the best 90% of the time. You know what I'm saying? Oh yeah, yeah. The Eagles cooling. We just got Golden Tate, so we're gonna try to get him, insulated with the offense, put him in a position where he be successful. Because he's an ultimate. I mean, he's gonna be a weapon he's gonna be a weapon for Carson. I mean that might be the case, but he's gonna be effective in ways that maybe Amari Cooper won't be for Dallas. That's just a thought. I don't know. I don't know. Yo, bro, I got you, man. We definitely gonna chop up, man. Y'all play really. Look, 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 look. So no. No. I mean, he resting up. There's a little lingering injuries he might have. So he's really just trying to, get his body right for the smackdown that we gotta lay down. You dig what I'm saying? I mean, look at this first quarter. OKC giving up 35 points. Second quarter, 44 points. Come on, Joe. Come on, Joe. Look at that. Come on. John Wall's supposed to be there to stop the bleeding. You a supermax player. You gotta do that. Bro, we got the Matter of fact, I got you, bro. We got the we got the she's actually the one making the pan of lasagna for Graham's joint. So so she gonna hold you down with that. But when another big meal coming up in the next couple of days, I'm gonna hit you, man. I got you, bro. Say no more. Say no more. I got you. No, he didn't surpass him. He just got him on that one song, but he's not better than him. Big is the greatest. He's the best and the greatest. I mean that might be the case, but he wasn't meant to put out any whack albums. You know what I'm saying? He wasn't meant to put out whack content. It was just supposed to be exceptional from start to finish, and then he was called to the next phase of life. It's unfortunate, and I'm glad your man took the torch and took it to the next level. He was supposed to do that. Business, rap, everything. I'm happy for him, but just know as an MC and as a rapper, he's not better. But see, that's not the same thing. You see, more it's more. You know what it is? It's more like um, Biggie was Shaq from 2000 to 2002, the most dominant force we've seen, and then LeBron, and then Jay Z is LeBron. So at the peak of his power, at the very peak of his power, Shaq is better than LeBron, but LeBron has had the longevity to get to a point where when you look at when you rank them as players, no, nobody will ever say that. But if you ask them about Shaq from 2000 to 2002, and you ask them about LeBron's peak from 2000, I would say 2009 to 2013, they'll say Shaq was the better player. If you compare peaks, that's just that's just the truth. And I mean, Big had B, I think in terms of peaks, the only player that rivaled Michael Jordan in terms of individual peak is Shaquille O'Neal. But Shaquille O'Neal's peak is short. Shaquille O'Neal's peak is 2000 to 2002. But in that peak, nobody could stop him. No team. I mean, if you look at that 2001 team, that run for the Lakers, they went against the Blazers, who they played in the 2000 Western Conference Finals. They went against the Kings in the second round, who they played in the 2002 Western Conference Finals, and they went against the Spurs, and they swept the Spurs. So they swept the Blazers, they swept the Spurs, and they swept the Kings, just to get beat one time by by the ultimate underdog in the Sixers. I mean, I got to. You know what I'm saying? Allen Iverson was just that good, man. He was just that good, man. He was just that good, man. He was just that good. He was just that good, man. He was just that good. Allen Iverson was that good, man. It's just unfortunate. It is what it is, man. He wasn't meant to win a ring, but he went against the greatest playoff team of all time in the Los Angeles Lakers. Yeah. So, you feel me? It is what it is. Look, look, look. Co- I mean, from an analytical standpoint, we got to be honest. Allen Iverson took a lot of shots, so you got to put people around him that's selfless. And sometimes when you do that, it's at the detriment of development. You know what I'm saying? You put players around him that are ultimate defensive players who will do all the dirty work, but then you have a player who will take every shot possible to carry a team. So it balanced itself out, but I think they should have did a better job of at least if not giving him another scorer, giving him more shooting because he had no type of shooting. You know what I'm saying? The best shooter AI ever played with was Kyle Korver, but he caught a young Kyle Korver in year 8. So, right, you know what I mean. So he caught Korver at a good time because he was still in his prime, but he didn't have the right coaching around him to carry them in the playoff. Right. Yeah, who was old Matumbo. He spent, his majority of his career with Denver and Atlanta. He did have Sam. Sam will run through a wall for him, but Sam had no other skills other than blocking shots and catching dunks. I mean, in this era, if he could stay healthy, he would be like a more extreme Clint Capella. But you know what I mean. You know what I'm saying? And I think more than anything, one of the best bigs AI ever played with, but we had to sacrifice him to get Matumbo was Theo Ratliff. Theo was good with AI, and they were young at the same time. But to get when he got injured, we had to keep that run going in '01. So we had to give him up to get Matumbo. Look, Quarter's on the chat. Shout out to Cordero Rogers. He's on my live stream. We I'm analyzing Thunder Wizards. He hears the conversation about Jay and Big. He talking about Jay is greater though. Look at y'all Jay fans, man. Y'all so biased. You can't even contain yourself. It's crazy. Yeah, I'm on my YouTube channel, Ask Isaiah. Um, and I'm live streaming my analysis of this particular game, this Thunder and Wizards game. Right now, the Wizards are, as I said, the Wizards are just horrible right now. It's unacceptable. You know what I mean? It's just I feel bad for Scott Brooks because he's on the hot seat, man. It's like you know, but I mean, but see, that's the thing about the East, man. It's like the East is so wide open now with LeBron going away. I mean, everybody talking about Boston and Toronto, but that spot is vacant. You gotta remember, Boston didn't knock off LeBron to get to the finals. LeBron left. He left. He said, "Y'all can have it now." So it's open for everybody. Milwaukee 7-1. They just lost their first game last night. Toronto's killing. You got Boston, but then the Wizards should feel like, hey, we should make a run too. If you put their best two players up against every other team's best two players in the conference, they should be able to say they're in the top three. If you go in by tandem, you know what I mean. I would put Philadelphia as a 1-2 punch above them, but they have more skilled players after their top two. Kelly Oubre is better than every other player outside of Ben and Embiid on the Sixers. You got Marquise Morris, who's skilled. He can knock down shots, play defense. You got Jeff Green. They got talent over there. Why are they so bad? Oh, oh man. You got to be careful who you get that Supermax to, man. It's crazy. Oh, man. You got to make sure you get home for this. Oh, man. Make sure you get home, man. Check out this Rockets net game. It's pretty lit right now. 86, 88, 86, end of the third, man. So if you could, try to catch some of that fourth, man. It's going to be good. James Harden's not playing, though. That's why it's so close. Then you got, oh, man. And the Knicks, matter of fact, the Knicks and the Mavericks game is pretty good, too. Last I checked, they was up 9, the Knicks. You know. Oh, man. But, man, let me hit you back. Second half about to start. Good chopping it up with you, man. BIG is the greatest. All right, BIG is the greatest, man. If you ever want to analyze album for album, I mean, I know you may got 13, but I put BIG's two up against whatever he got, and I think I'll win. I believe I'll win. That's just me, though. I'll have you, man. Shout out to Joe Sanguinetti. He just called to really ask me about Big and Jay Z's verse on Brooklyn's Finest, and that turned into a basketball conversation, a rap conversation, all good convo as well. I believe Big is the greatest rapper of all time. To Jay Z's credit, he has the greatest longevity of any rapper ever, and he's extended the shelf life of rappers. So because of him, now you have the likes of Drake's and Kanye West in ways that when Biggie was alive, Tupac was alive, and beyond because the genre itself was so small at that time in terms of age. It was only about 15 years old at that time, 15 to 17 years old. The shelf life for a rapper was really only 3 to 5 years. So it was but so much. they were gonna do. Unfortunately, Biggie and Tupac became statistics and died very young. But the impact was you can't even quantify how impactful they were on rap. And I feel in terms of actual skill and ability, Jay Biggie is the best rapper to ever live. He's the best rapper to ever live. In terms of MC, it's close, but Biggie is the best ever. He's the greatest ever, in my opinion. That's just me though. Just ask Isaiah. Let me know what you think. Mm. Let's look at these stats for this particular game. First, let me give you the scores around the league. Clippers finished that game off against the Wizards 120 to 95. Rockets are up with 10:29 remaining in the fourth with 95-90. Harden is not playing. He missed his third straight game. You already know the score with the Thunder and Wizards 79 to 50. Despite Dwight Howard playing exceptionally well, um, he has at this point so far 19 points in his first game back after missing 5 games. Excuse me, after missing 7 games. Indiana's up by 2 right now. 6:14 left in the third. 71-69. The Knicks are down 5, 53 to 48 to Dallas. Memphis is trailing Utah 22 to 14. And Toronto, Phoenix have not played. And then that 10:30 game uh, after this Thunder and Wizards game, you have Golden State versus Minnesota. The Thunder scored 44 points in the second quarter. 44 points, man. 44 points. They outscored Washington 44 to 20 in the second quarter. Russell Westbrook in the first half, 15 points, 9 assists, 4 steals. Paul George, 9 points, 4 rebounds, 6 assists, 2 steals. Jeremy Grant, 15 points, 3 rebounds, 3 assists. Steven Adams, 15 points, 3 rebounds. Terrence Ferguson has 6. Uh, Patrick Patterson with 5. Noel with 5. Hamidou Diallo with 4. I mean, unacceptable in terms of defense for Washington. They have 19 from Dwight Howard. Bradley Beal provided his 13. John Wall, 5.7 assists in the first half. You know what this game reminds me of? I don't know if you guys remember that first game, that first game in Cleveland And it was the particular game where LeBron was supposed to get 30,000 at home, and he ended up not getting it. Uh, I mean, that game started close and just ended disgusting. Ended disgusting in terms of how the Thunder were just getting their shots. Everyone was involved. Melo, Paul George, everyone just getting any shot they wanted. This game is very reminiscent of that. And out of the halftime break, you have Terrence Ferguson knocking down a wide open three in the corner. Just look at the body language, man. No one's really committed. No one's really, giving maximum effort. Where's the fiery play to really wake everybody up? A 30-point game, 82 to 52. It's still a lot of time left, so I won't say it's over, but based on the body language right now, it's not. Paul George and one with the jumper. So right now, Oklahoma City just getting everything they want. I mean, if they were to lose this game, they would have to completely just throw it away. But I think in terms of how they're scoring offensively, they just there's nothing that can really stop them right now. Thunder shooting 64%, man. Good closeout from Westbrook. Bill thought better of it. Kicks out to John Wall. And a good deflection from Germany there because it would have been a wide open three. Would have been a wide open three for Morris. So 14 on the shot clock. See, the thing about the Thunder is, well, especially last year, you never thought any lead was safe with them. They would easily just give it away with bad defense and turnovers. So right now, they're up 30, but the lead is not safe until you get to at least the fourth quarter and with 5 minutes left. Then you'll say the game it could potentially be over. And right now, look, you got a three from Bradley Beal to cut it to 30. Now you got a turnover from Ferguson. So this is how the Avalanche starts. You gotta be efficient if you're the Thunder, and if you're the Wizards, you have to maximize every possession at this point. You gotta get stops. You gotta get easy buckets. Paul George for three. Still a 30-point game, but the Thunder almost got a frenetic 3-point opportunity. The Bulls were going all over the place. Thunder got to stop defensively. Then it was stolen by Washington. Then stolen back by the Thunder. Unfortunately, Paul George unable to knock down an open shot. Porter knocks down the three, so now it's 27. The more you knock down threes, I mean, at this point, it's dangerous if you're the Thunder because it's so much time. It's so much time to work back. When you're up by this much, you almost have to play like you're down just to maintain a sense of urgency. And Westbrook missing a jumper. And there's an offensive foul on Dwight Howard. Paul George able to bank in the jumper, man. Crazy. Good finish from Morris. Back and forth we go. Westbrook knocks in the stop and pop jumper. Good pace there. But I think for the Thunder, they got to get more locked in defensively. The Wizards are starting to open things up offensively, getting more fluid shots. It's just they're down by so much. Thunder get a timeout, so it's 8:30 remaining third quarter, 89-60. Hmm. Now look, when they show the Timberwolves Warriors graphic, the face they show on the Timberwolves is Derrick Rose, especially showing emotion after that 50-point game. Whereas before you would see a Jimmy Butler or Karl Anthony Towns. Now they got Derrick Rose as the premier image on the graphic. Man, that's great to see, man. Derrick Rose overcoming so much with that 50-point game, man. It just was good to see on Halloween night. Derrick Rose almost scored a. I mean, Derrick Rose, Russell Westbrook Almost called an alley-oop there, but it was a turnover. So now Porter misses a three, rebounded by Schroeder. Man, that 50-point game Halloween night, man. They showing some emotion after he actually got the 50 points. He was crying. He was actually crying before the timeout was over, man. He just can't overcome. He came overcome with so much emotion, man. John Wall crossover dribble blocked by Westbrook. 9 for 31, 4 7 from 3, 8 of 11 from the free throw line. Career high in year 11. 2.7 on the shot clock for the Wizards. I don't know if Morris knew. He's still able to knock it down at the buzzer. So we have a 26-point game now. This is not foreign territory for a comeback. I mean, it's still enough time. So OKC has to start waking up. Wizards are at home. If that momentum shifts, man, it'll be dangerous. Shoot off the glass with the floater. Keep that separation at 28. Bradley Beal with the move off the glass right back. I mean, Bradley Beal offensively is so polished, man. This game, he was a one-time All-Star last year, his first time. But I thought the year before he could have been an All-Star as well. Steven Adams had to be fouled there. They don't call a foul. Instead, they call a foul on Steven Adams, but he can't believe because he was being bear hugged by Dwight Howard. Halfway through the third, 6:20 remaining. Thunder up by 26, 91 to 65. And we have a blocking foul. So already we starting to see this lead dwindle. Starting to see this lead dwindle, man. Washington, I mean, Dwight Howard in his first game back really been effective. It's just everyone else around him has not been able to. I mean, he might be included as well, in my opinion, in terms of how he's guarding. But more so on the perimeter, they haven't been getting the pressure necessary or the deflections or, the rebounds necessary to really, get out and run to the level that they would want. Well, we got Saturday, you got Boston, Indiana, Philadelphia, Indiana on Wednesday. That should be a good game, a good test for both teams. Minnesota, the Lakers on that Wednesday too, pretty good. Paul George pinch post guarded by John Wall, pull up jumper is no good. So 25-point game. John Wall looking for Dwight. Good move. Looking for a teammate or bailout. John Wall step into a three, and he does. He knocks it down. So now, 22-point game. 5:44 remaining. Timeout Billy Donovan. The turnaround is coming. Washington looks like they're getting back. This is dangerous when you're up by so much with so much time left. You got to maintain that level of urgency and consistency despite you can't fall into the trap. Can't fall into the trap. Right now, OKC is falling into the trap. How will they respond? When you got momentum like this, I mean, it's 5:44, so you got a little over halfway through the third. So you're almost to the fourth, but it's like it's an hourglass. You're watching the sand go down very, very slowly. Washington, if they get hot, this can go from 22 to 12 real quick going into the fourth. And at that point, it's anybody's game. Anybody's game. Klay Thompson, 14 made threes on Monday against Chicago. It took 24 threes, man. It makes no sense. 24 threes, man. What? I mean, teams don't take 24 threes in a game. Westbrook, potential and one opportunity, but doesn't fall. He'd be going to the free throw line. Caught Dwight Howard slipping there off the dribble. Westbrook knocks in the first free throw. It bounces around, dribbles in. Westbrook makes both free throws, so it's back to 24. With the pace of this game, man, you never. It's so fast now, and there's so many 3-point opportunities that no lead is really safe. John Wall, easy layup to get in, so he gets the 2 points back that they just gave up out of the timeout. So we approach 5 minutes remaining in the third. Westbrook jump over Bradley Beal. Bill thought he got hit in the face there. So that created a separation for Westbrook. But if you're Washington, you don't want to trade shots with OKC right now. You're trying to get as much stoppage as possible to cut into this lead. Bill, up fake, good move, and he scores right on Noel. Noel unable to defend that on the perimeter. Westbrook filling the groove. Throws an alley for Noel with the finish. Bradley Beal getting hot. Jumper is no good. Rebounded by Schroeder. Paul George thought about a three. Post up Westbrook. Kick out to George for the three. And it's good. So good run out of that timeout for OKC right now. 27-point game. Wall. Looking for a kick out deflected by Paul George. Good closeout by Paul. Pocket pass. Kick out to Morris. 3-pointer is no good. Rebounded by, who is that? Great deflection by Oubre there. Oubre got the rebound, but he was falling out of bounds, so he throws it off Jeremy Grant's head. That was pretty good. That was pretty good. Baseline jumper for Bradley Beal. Step back is good. I mean, you can't defend that. Great offense beats great defense every time. Was great block there by John Wall. looking for contact at the rim. Paul doesn't jump with him, so he's able to dunk. So now the crowd's getting involved, man. 13 points for John Wall. Been really quiet, man. Being outplayed at the point guard position by Westbrook. Coming back to score is Westbrook. Bradley Beal comes back for three. Russ with the response. Airballs a three. So that's not what OKC wants right now. That's not what OKC wants right now. Everything Washington wants is as many misses and turnovers as possible. Good move. And then now kicks out to Jeff Green. Jeff traveled. He had to travel there. Rebounded by Nerlens Noel. Looking for a post up Jeremy Grant. Guarded by Bill. Bill is very strong in the post defensively. And you get a travel. Great defense by Bradley Bill. Great defense by Bill. We approach 2 minutes. It's still 20-22. You get it close to 14-12. Like I said, never know what could happen, man. Oubre with the attack. Great closeout by Jeremy Grant on the weak side, but already fouled on the body by Abrines. But you're in the post, you take contact. Great foundation from Bill on that defense there, and you get a travel. And now you go to the free throw line. Opportunity to make free throws and cut into the deficit. But Oubre misses on the front end. All you want to see is some progression if you're Washington. You're being outscored by 29 in the first half. You cut it to 21, so you're outscoring OKC by 8 in the third. $153 in the third, OKC at 102.81. Six on the shot clock. Shooter with the jumper is good. That was a big shot just to create a little more separation. Good in and out from John Wall with the left hand. Kick out to Oubre. Oubre thought about the three, works it around to Jeff Green. Austin Rivers kicks out to Jeff Green. Contact. And they call a foul on Alex. Great attack from Jeff there. He was a little out of control. Didn't quite know what he wanted to do, but I thought, just the attack itself was good. Hey, Alex Abrines was drafted in 2013. He didn't come over till 2017, 16, 17. And you get a steal now. You get it inside 20. Anything is possible. John Wall with the finish inside. So now we got a 19-point game. Minute left in the third. 105 left. This is the dangerous side of being up by so much. So much time left. These are NBA players. Anything could happen, man. 10-point game. Or excuse me, 10 seconds on the shot clock. Schroeder with the finish. No good, but we have a foul inside, and they call that foul on Bradley Beal. So now you got Nerlens Noel going to the free throw line, but he's not a solid free throw shooter. So even if he fouled Nerlens, that's not necessarily a bad foul. In and out by John Wall with the left hand and finish going cross right. 45 seconds left in the third. 45.9. 105, 104.85. OKC leads. Nerlens makes the first free throw. In his career 5 seasons, Nerlens about 9.2 points, 53% from the field. And Nerlens is able to knock in both free throws, which is big for OKC to keep this lead above 20. We approach 40 seconds left in the third. Great split by John Wall. Goes off his knee. A little out of control there. But if he was able to finish the rotation on the 360, he could have had an easy layup there. Schroeder attack at the rim and he finishes. So two quick baskets for the Thunder. Well, 2 free throws in a basket from Schroeder, able to push this lead back to 23. Unable to finish the layup, Bradley Beal. 10 seconds left. Patrick Patterson thought about a 3. Gets it to Schroeder, who thought about a 3. He needs to get it to the basket. He takes contact, and he's fouled. So, I mean, considering what happened for the Thunder to be at the rim with 2 seconds on the clock, with a good free throw shooter at the line, to try to push this lead to at least 25 would be an understatement, considering how close the game got to 19. Shooter right now, kind of rounding in the form. That first free throw was good. Coming over from Atlanta, he was going to be the backup PG to Russ. But what I'm seeing over the last couple of games, they're finding ways to play together. And Schroeder's knocking down key open shots. That's going to be able to, help OKC in terms of when they play elite teams, because the shooting woes that they have at times is really their detriment. Bill tried to get it from half court, unfortunately, no good. 110-85 Thunder lead. To give you the scores going around the league right now. You got, I mentioned the Clippers finishing Orlando 120-95. You got Houston beating Brooklyn 119-111. You got OKC right now 110-85. Houston's game with Brooklyn is final 119-111, I said. Indiana's down to Chicago. Chicago coming back. Chicago is up 93-96. New York is up against Dallas 64-62. Memphis is trailing Utah 44-42. Donovan Mitchell's not playing. He's out with the hamstring injury. And Toronto Phoenix is not started. They're about to start. And Minnesota Golden State will be starting at 10:30. Right now, Oklahoma City, 27 assists through 3 quarters. That's the most assists they've had thus far in a game this season. Right now, the ball is just finding people. They're getting shots. I mean, it's very tough right now if you're Washington going through what you're going through to start the year. You dealt with some injuries, you're dealing with turmoil inside. To have a home game like this and to be in a position where you have that desperation to compete against an elite team, to be playing the way you're playing down 25. I mean, I gotta say, man, I'm not sure Scott Brooks is gonna be able to make it through to half to the All Star break if they continue at this pace, man. Look at this box score right now. Carmelo Anthony tonight, 28 points, 28 big points. They needed every bucket. They only won by 8, so that was pretty good for him. Season high this year, um, 28 points in 30 minutes, 9 of 12 from the floor, 4 of 6 from the free throw line. So if he made his free throws, he could have had 30. 6 of 9 from three. 6 of 9 from three. And everyone's been talking about his plus minus numbers due to on the defensive side, he's been exploited on the switches. Tonight he was +3, so that's a win if you're Houston, man. In terms of the box score, he had 28. Clint Capella had 22 and 13. Eric Gordon had 21. Chris Paul had 31, 11 assists, and 7 rebounds. Really good numbers. On Brooklyn side, Joe Harris with 18, Jared Allen with 10, Karis LeVert 29, D'Angelo Russell only 12 points. Fourth quarter underway, 110 to 85. OKC leads. Jeremy Grant with the slam out of the break to get this lead back up to 27. Jeremy Grant trying to get another slam, and he called John Wall for a foul. I mean, if he didn't hit him, it would have been another slam. Jeremy misses the first free throw. Jeremy makes the second free throw, so it's back up to 28, 85, 113. 113 to 85. Austin Rivers with the floater, unable to finish, and rebounded by OKC. Great back taps there by. Oh, potential alley oop, no good. A little bit too far ahead for Jeremy. But those back taps defensively were really good by Abrinas, Hamadou, and Grant. Bradley Bill misses that three on a step back. Abrinas with a three knocks it down. So it's back to 29, 87, 116 to 87. John Wall able to break down Diallo. And Diallo, even though he doesn't know the NBA game ins and outs just yet, defensively because he's so athletic, he's able to make up for a lot. What type of defense is that there? Diallo was so wide open in the left corner, man. Like literally, he just had to get laid out by John Wall to stop it. It's an easy dunk. Diallo 1 for 2 at the line. Call a kickball. It looked like it went off Jason Smith's foot, but off the pocket pass, they said it went off of Patrick Patterson. Man, I'm just trying to figure out what's wrong with Washington at this point. Great defense by Schroeder there. Got to be a backcourt. They say because of the deflection of Schroeder. Oubre off the jumper. Oh, great putback. Great putback there. Great block by Patrick Patterson there. Schroeder takes contact, and will he finish? No, he won't. Jason Smith with that rebound. In and out, Oubre, good move, and he finishes. Timeout by Billy Donovan. So it's a 24-point game. Coaches are never satisfied, and I think if you're the Thunder, you just don't want to get too comfortable, like you did in the third, to try to get Washington back into the game. Hmm. Oklahoma City shooting numbers: 59% from the field, 79% from free throw line, 50% from three. Complete opposites of what they usually do: 43%, 67, and 27 are the metrics they shoot from usually. So this is just an efficient game for them. You got Jeremy Grant with the finish inside, just playing an exceptional game. They say his father is there. Harvey Grant is in Washington tonight. Harvey also played his uncle. Horace played on championship teams with the Bulls and the Lakers. So he comes from a basketball family. Sideransky just missed, but great putback there. Still 7 minutes left. I mean, if things get too sloppy, it could get interesting. But I think at this point, OKC almost halfway to home. You got a Patrick Patterson three in the corner. Yeah, so I don't know if Washington could make a legit run. I think they have cleared the bench at this point. John Wall, Bradley Beal on the bench. Great dunk by Oubre. Oubre is a player that, unfortunately, with the dysfunction of this particular team, he's not flourishing in the right way. But if they were able to pull off a move and probably break this nucleus up, get a player or a draft pick back for Oubre, he could get in a good situation where he could be effective. Jeremy Grant is hot right now. He just banked in one of the toughest shots of the season, off balance, facing a double team. It didn't matter. Jason Smith pulls up for three. Smith used to play for the Sixers, so I have a respect for him. You know, great bank shot from Kelly Oubre there. So now it's back to 22. We approach 5 minutes remaining. Patrick Patterson tried to get an offensive rebound, no good. We call a foul. Sunday, New York, Dallas, Orlando, Miami, Cleveland. Washington can get back in his groove, but I think too much of what they got going on in the locker room, there's no cohesion in terms of how they're playing right now. Shooter for three, knocks it down. 14 threes for OKC, 14 to 27. Shout out to Clayton Kershaw. He just got the super duper bag, 3-year, $93 million extension. And this is off a down year. And they'll replace it the final 2 years of a $65 million contract. Baseball players get paid, man. When I have my son, he's gonna play either soccer, basketball, or baseball. They get to the money, man. Much respect. Much respect. $130 to 102. I mean, this game is over. 4 minutes left. I mean, you can't even say it. I mean, at this point, it's but so much Washington could do to even make a dent in this lead. Paul George tonight, 17.6 to 12 from the floor, 4 rebounds, 7 assists. Are they gonna score 150 tonight? Oubre for three, no good. So we're at 3 minutes. Over and under 150. Let me know. I mean, 2:18 remaining immediate timeout. 134 to 108. The game is basically over. OKC is on their way to their fourth straight victory. They've been able to shoot exceptionally well from the 3-point line and just force as many turnovers as possible, making it really, really difficult on Washington. I think Washington, considering everything that they've gone through, this is a microcosm of their season. This entire game, a game that they needed, a game that they could rally around to truly, make a difference in their season and start to be a launching pad. They just wet the bed. They dropped the ball. Every type of um, phrase you want to use for not getting it done, the Wizards did that tonight. In terms of OKC for the game, but they shoot from three. I mean, Paul George 4 of 6, Jeremy Grant 2 of 3, Ferguson 3 of 4, Abrines 2 of 7, Schroeder 2 of 3, Patterson 2 of 3. They made 15 threes tonight, 15 to 29 from three. Complete dominance, man. The largest lead of the game for the Thunder, 33 points. It was only tied 2 times. Westbrook 23 points. Bradley Beal empty 27. John Wall empty 9 assists. Rebound wise, Thunder out rebound the Wizards 35-27. In terms of assists, 34 to 26. Steals, 13 steals for the Thunder, 4 blocks for the Thunder, and they forced 18 turnovers. I mean, the Wizards are shooting efficient. You look at the field goals, 53%. The 3 pointers tonight, 29%, and then the free throws are about even, but it's just the turnovers are bad, and then when you compound it with bad shooting on the outside, it's not gonna go well. Six different shooters with two made threes. Play dominance from the Thunder tonight. Inside 2 minutes, great block, Nerlens Noel. $30 left. About to be over. 134, 111. Finally, OKC with the final rebound. They should dribble out the clock. Game is over. 134, 111. Great game from OKC all the way around. Shooting wise, defensively, they didn't foul a lot tonight. Russell Westbrook was at the point of attack. The balance all the way around. I mentioned multiple shooters. Six different players with two or more threes. They had 15 threes for the game, a season high. Just a dominant performance. Unfortunately, Washington just couldn't get anything going cohesively outside of that first quarter where they scored 30 points. The first quarter score was 35-30. After that, it just did not pan out. So much respect to what OKC was able to do. This is Ask Isaiah with another live stream game reaction and analysis. I have much more coming throughout the season. We got more games tomorrow. And depending on how this Warrior Timberwolf game goes, I'll have more live stream games for you as well. So continue to tune in, continue to subscribe to my channel. Tell a friend to tell a friend. Check out my podcast, Ask Isaiah NBA Podcast on Apple. Then you can also follow me on Twitter at Ask Isaiah. Follow me on Instagram at Ask Isaiah. Much more coming forth from this channel. Tune in.